Well, with all this dyeing going on, I decided to do a little of my own. Doing the old-fashioned here. What we got here, if you look, is an old-fashioned, let's dye some clothes. I don't know about y'all, but you know, the blacks tend to fade to grays. This damn set I bought over in Puerto Rico, I mean, the front half is a light. Oh, the front half's light and the back half is black. And this was like after 2 washings. Yeah. That just don't cut it. This is a South Pole brand. Evidently, they don't know the colors in the South Pole because they don't know how to do a dye lot. You look at that. 2 different colors. I don't know if you can tell. But one's black and one's gray. 2 or 3 washings. These are years old. I don't do this much, but I am a cheap person, and I can't see. You see all them jeans there? 1, 2, 3. Got 2 in the pot. That's 5 pairs of jeans, and bought out on the marketplace new. That's easy, $24, $25 a pop. You're talking well over $100 of clothing that most people just throw away. They go, oh, these jeans are bad. They lost the color. Look at that tennis shoe. Sole's being glued on. The bottom sole just completely missed. It ain't that I can't afford new shoes. I got some nice ones in the house. But it's called use and reuse and redo and renew to like new, instead of going out and wasting money on a new one. But yeah, we got the old dye pot with the burner. The rubber gloves because, guess what? It's dye. I've already paid a bit for one mistake. Got a little dye on me. Got to wait till that skin grows out. We have ye old stir stick. Got to have a stir stick. Ideally a paddle. You want these clothes floating. Now I'll tell you, when you're doing jeans are usually a blend of cottons and nylons or polyesters. So you follow the instructions on the bottle. It says put salt, a good amount of salt in there, about a cup or so. I got 4 gallons of water. So I put in about a cup of salt, and for synthetic fibers you put in vinegar. So yeah, I dumped vinegar and salt in there, plus just a little bit of dish detergent to help emulsify. But they have to sit in the pot for about an hour. I've been letting these cool down. They've been in there for over an hour. Don't hurt to have more. And that's why we have one of these. Though I do have the Google personal assistant keeping an alarm, and my ever nifty digital thermometer from Fisher Scientific. If you're going to get the good shit, get the good shit. Fisher makes some good shit. Nice little probe. That's where the black on me come from. Wiped it with my hands. But this is the setup here. Just wanted something over the pot, so because I'm a cheap. Didn't I say I'm cheap? When I lift them pants out of that pot, they're gonna be dripping all that dye. I don't want to lose my dye. Each one probably got a pint or 2. If you just take it out and set it to hang somewhere, you're gonna all that dye just go to ground, go to waste. So I'll wring it out here. I sorely could use a mop wringer, or better yet, one of them old hand crank washing machine wringers they used to use back in the 30s. Yeah, we're going back in time here. Dye your own clothes, make them look like new, brand new. Bottle set you back about $6 or $7. But when you consider there's probably, I'm going to save about $150. Ain't got nothing better to do on a COVID day. And here is the final dry. You can tell I'm used to working by myself. I've had people tell me that, and worked as an engineer. The only thing holding this up is tension. Well, this old piece of crap stuck in there. This is what I'm known for. Make do without, learn to do it yourself, or find some way to do it. But I got the bucket there. Yep, to catch the dye water as the clothes is hanging. Notice the big industrial size unit back there. It's actually, it's just 2.5 ton. Generally they're half that size, but if you want one cheap and you don't mind something that looks like an industrial unit, this has outlasted all the other units I've had before, the nice neat residentials, mostly because I insisted on something very simple. Give me simple. Simple doesn't break down. We used to have to get a new circuit board every year or so in the old ones. Power surges and whatnot, be over $100 a pop every year just to fix it. SOB. But anyway, got the gas off for the moment. If you're doing a dye lot, and that's what I'm doing here, it's a dye lot, you're supposed to be stirring it just regular. But come on now. Stand here and poke and stir for 30 minutes? I don't think so, Slim. I ain't got that much patience, and Netflix is on, right? Not to mention, I got other things to do aside from look at ink. The thing is, you want to maintain the temperature between 160 to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. You really don't want to bust 200. The synthetic fibers, I mean, if you know anything about plastic and played around with it, what happens when you put heat to plastic? It shrinks. So you get your clothes too hot and they're going to come out all warped and mutated, kind of like the COVID virus. Yeah, we're in the middle of the shutdown. I couldn't think of a better time to do this. The longer you let them sit, the darker they get, the better the dye takes hold. And if you can, you double dip them. That means you take them out, put them up here, wring them out, because I'm going to have to hand wring. If you got a wringer, that's great. Recover your dye. Hang them over there. Hang them on that, let them drip down. Come probably tomorrow morning, or maybe this evening, probably this evening. I'll take the old garden hose and wash them off. Wash all these clothes off. They'll be all on the hangers. We'll see. At any rate, if I want to, I can run another dye lot, re-dye them second time. And you ain't never gonna get that color out. Because black is one of those notorious colors. My wife says I look good in black, so does the devil. But black tends to fade. I mean, these started out black. You see now. Alright, well, these will look like brand new after a dye job for $7 in a little bit of time. All you need is a good pot, and if you can get it, you know, with an old turkey fire burner or anything, you just big old pot and heat it outside. You can substitute for a pot. If you got an old stainless steel sink laying around, I could have thrown the sink on there, just put the plug in. That's all. You know, you just make do without long enough, you learn all kinds of nifty tricks. I mean, if you look, everything here is homemade. My uprights are tomato plant cages. You see the right. This old piece of PVC is from an old project, an old fountain. It used to be down at my pond. It's long dead. And if that ain't reused, I don't know what is. There's a word for this kind of engineering, but it's not politically correct to say anymore. So we'll just go with shade tree engineering, because I do have a little shade. Here we are on the COVID day. Dying, what can I say, dying on COVID day. Well, y'all stay home. You can tell I am. I hear the cars running. That tells me, and it's Sunday. Come on now, folks. But at any rate, y'all be safe. Wear your mask. All your PPE gear. Put on your bodysuit and go out there if you got to go. But if you ain't got to go, stay home. Later. Well, here we are on Dying Day. Good name for it. Renewing clothes. If this is exciting, I feel sorry for you. But some people ain't never done this. Some people don't know you can even do this. Let me tell you, PPE, folks, PPE. That dye will turn you, well, that's black dye. If you want to be a Smurf, go for it. Blue, they got blue dye. No open-toe shoes, because if you spill that 140 to 160 degree water on your toes, you will be doing a little monkey dance. You don't want to do that. Ain't no fun. Been there, done that. At any rate, having basically, he's been in the dye vat, which has been at a roughly 160 degrees for the past, we going on to an hour and a half. But that's because I went and got the camera. I said, well, maybe some other people want to know about this. Recycle. There's too much stuff going into the landfill. Look at the National Geographic for this last month. They talk all about we need to start renewing and reusing. Quit putting stuff in the trash if you can fix it. Now, ideally, you'd have one of them old-fashioned crank clothes wringers with the rollers, and you feed this through. But can't have everything. All right. It's like I'm hoping I ain't got no hole in these really old gloves. These gloves here are, shoot, 30, 35 years old. But if you take care of your stuff, it will last. I've got paintbrushes, gee whiz, 30, 40 years old, and I do painting, art, as well as house and residential, only for me or my wife. But the thing is, I take real good care of my stuff. I had to buy it. I don't want to buy more. It's worth cleaning that brush up right, and you can make a paintbrush. I've got them in the shop. Paintbrushes, 30, 35 years old. And it isn't that I can't buy new. I can buy new, that's not a problem. Trust me, that's not a problem. But I was raised poor. I know what poverty is. I know what it is to go 3 or 4 days without eating a damn bite. And not knowing where your next meal or roof is coming from, you know. Been that, done that. That's why I worked very hard to get out of it. I worked really hard at not working, let me tell you. 12 years of official schooling. There ain't no money for the new jeans. I got enough on my hip pocket to go buy twice as many. But why do that? I can use that money for something else, as long as I'm not lazy. Yeah, there we go. Hang on. could put them on a hanger. But the only hangers I have right now are plastic. Plastic and hangers in 140, 150 degrees. And no. No. As an old engineer, I ain't even going to bother risking it. But anyway, this is how we dye our clothes. On dyeing day. And if you want your old faded jeans or t-shirt, look brand new like you just bought it, spend you $7 to $8. Take a half a day. Most of your day ain't spent doing this. Most of your day is sitting there waiting for that hour to pass while it sits in there. Well, you do need to come out and stir it about every 10 minutes or so at least. Instructions say just sit there and stir it for 30 minutes continuously. Oh, no, that ain't happening. But I did look, the minimum dye bath, should be 30 minutes. But if you really want it to take, you gotta do it for 60. And then you come back once they dry out, and you do it again. You think you can do this in a washing machine, and you can, but it's a good way to ruin your washer too. Let me tell you, if you ever, and the water's never hot enough, 115 degrees maybe, 120. That hot water coming out your water heater isn't hot enough to really do a dye job. So even if you do it in your clothes washer, which I highly do not recommend, if the water just isn't getting hot enough to penetrate, especially the synthetic fibers, this water's cooled down. So I got to do the old thing and get it back to about 160, maybe 180 tops. Get my clothes in there. I'll go ahead and dip my clothes. Unfold them. Now they should always be washed with just plain laundry soap. Don't be putting no softener in it. And then rinse it at least once or twice extra, because you want to get all the chemicals and sealants and sealers that are in these finishes, what they call finishing products, to finish the fibers and finish the thread and make it feel all so good. You got to get all that crap off so the dye will actually soak into the cellular structure of the organic fibers, which is your cottons, hemp if you're into that, and the polyester fiber. Well, trying to dye plastic. Plastic does have some pores, but generally it does not. That's why you need that heat. Y'all, but I won't say melting the plastic, but you do make it a bit more receptive to the process. You see how light these are? I mean, these are faded. A lot of people throw it away. I'll go buy them. I'll go spend me $25 more. That's $50 right there. There ain't nothing wrong with them. If I really wanted to, oh, this one got a little rag on the hem, you know. If I wanted to, I can sew good enough. I can fix that. I can cut them little threads off. Well, here we go. The two ugly old pants now, gray, just gray. This has got dirt, grass stains on the knees even. Let me tell you, that black dye, you got grass stains on the clothes and whatnot like that, it will flat take care of it. Yes, sir. Green turns black, you bet. So I need to go ahead and fire up my pot. But you dip them in there, and ideally I would only do one pair of jeans at a time. which means 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. We're talking 4 hours of night time, most of which is spent sitting on my ass inside watching television. Oh, what hard work we have here. Let me get my pokey stick. Let me get the burner going. Let me have a cigarette. Yes, I don't care if it is politically incorrect. I've been smoking since I was 11 or 12. I don't care. Not scared of death. Definitely not scared. Done looked him in the face one too many times. So, as you see, I don't bother buying no fancy lighter here. I just want to get the gas going. There we go. Flames. Nothing like a little fire. I love some fire. So it looks like I'll be doing these what, 7 at a time? Once again, you do not want to get this dye on your skin. You want enough where the clothes can move pretty freely. That last batch I had 2 pairs of jeans, which is just a little bit slack. I'm using they say use a half a bottle of dye to 3 gallons of water. I've already pulled out about a gallon. I see that. I started with 4 gallons of water in a whole bottle because they say for better results, use a whole bottle. So guess what? Yeah. Now the next trick is to get it up to about 180 degrees, which is my top limit. That's my limit. Any more than that, and I risk damaging those synthetic fibers. I don't want to do that. And by the way, when they still hot, you can take a stick. If you got, like me, if you done put on that Corvid weight, you know that Corvid weight, yeah, getting a little jelly on the front, and some of your jeans and whatnot ain't fitting. While they're hot and wet is the best time to stretch that thing out. You take a stick, and you jam it in there at the waistline, button them first, you know, or snap or whatever. But when they're good and been hot and soaking in and they're hot, wet, you take a stick that's a little long, you know, just enough to where you can jam it in there and stretch the heck out of them, and then you hang it with that stick in there to keep pulling on that material to stretch it out. Everybody's heard relaxed fit jeans, relaxed fit. A lot of people don't know what that means. But relaxed fit is talking about not how it fits you. It's talking about the fibers and what they have been through, the material that makes up the thread itself. You see, when they spin fibers making thread, and I worked at King's Mill, know a little bit about this. What a job. But it stretches the fiber. And then of course you weave it. You know, they had the mill, the looms making all this bed sheets and curtains and fabrics. So making the string, you're stretching the fiber. Weaving the cloth, you're stretching that fiber some more. That fiber is in a stressed is what we call it in engineering. It's a stressed state. It has been stretched to its max. All it's waiting for is something to loosen it up so it can relax and be a relaxed fit. Huh? And of course, as soon as it get in some hot water, It's just like you and me at the spa. And it draws your clothes up and they don't fit no more. And that's what relax fit and all that means. It means that the material was exposed to some good heat to get the stresses from manufacturing out of the fiber and get the fiber to return to its natural normal length. And that way, when the consumer washes it, it doesn't shrink some more. If you think about it, that's why wool is so bad about it. If you ever caught hair on fire, or take a hair, you'll see that thing just shrinks up. Well, it's the same thing with sheep wool. It's hair. Put some heat to it, and you got a miniature sweater, or too tight underwear, or whatever it is. At any rate, I ain't gonna bore you with any more of this. I'm gonna bring this up to 180 degrees or so, at which point I will turn the burner off. I'll come back in, because I want to save gas. And that burner, bless his soul, got two settings: too high or off. I've tried throttling it down, and it just goes out. That ain't no big deal. I bring it up to about 180. When it gets back down to about 160, thereabouts. They say start minimum temperature is 140. So if I come back every 15-20 minutes or so, use my digital thermometer. So the candy thermometer works fine. Just don't be thinking you're going to use your outdoor thermometer on it. All malls, they done made them where they go out if you fall asleep smoking. A good idea, but I wonder what the heck they put in them. Alrighty, let's see what we getting here. Mid to high 40s. That is in Fahrenheit. Of course, the water temperature is all over the place because the burner is on, and the bottom and the water next to the metal wall is going to be considerably hotter. This is why you should stir it during this process. And one of the important things, when you taking and measuring your water temperature, it's been a little bit. I've come out here, stirred it a couple times. Water temperature got down to about 140. Time to heat things back up again. But when you measure your temperature, make sure you stir in that water, measure several places, not too near the bottom, because that's where it's really hot. But what you want to do, see, if you just stick it in towards the edge, it might be showing you it's really hot, but it ain't. Stick it in the middle, it might be 20 degrees cooler. If you have not been stirring it, you know, it's going to be hotter near the source of the heat, which is at the bottom of the pot. So that water can get boiling hot on the bottom, which you really don't want to boil your clothes unless you have to. It will sterilize them, I'll tell you that. But they might be a little bit smaller when you get them out. And as for me, I've been sitting here gabbing And I see bubbles coming up, so if you see it really starting to get a boil, you know if you don't have a thermometer, once you see it starting to boil while stirring, plenty hot. You're almost 212, yard 212 on the bottom. Water itself never gets over 212 degrees, not pure water. At ambient sea level. As you go up, that boiling pressure decreases. The boiling temperature decreases as the pressure decreases. Less pressure on the water to hold the bubbles in. Where we're sitting, I guess we're about 450, 500 feet, somewhere like that, above sea level. Boiling temperature water is probably like 210, 208, I don't know. This is doesn't need to be a precise science. You just really want to try to keep it between 180 and 140. And because I can't set this burner down to where it stays at, and because if I leave the burner on, the bottom will always be hotter than the top of the water if I'm not stirring, and I'm not stirring constantly. I do when I'm heating it up. And that way you get a uniform temperature. And after you turn your burner off, don't just walk away. You need to stir it till the bottom of that pot that was exposed to the flame cools down to the water temperature. This don't take long, just a minute or two. That keeps from getting a hot spot. All of a sudden find the crotch done shrunk up to your size or something, I don't know. But anyway, my little handy dandy timer over there says I got at least another 10 minutes of this. Let it sit, soak, come poke at it every 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes, at least every 15 minutes or so. Come and poke at it, stir it around a little bit. One thing that'll get you is when you lower your clothes in there, there's a lot of times there's air bubbles. Well, if there's air in a bubble under the water, there ain't no dye in that air pocket. And that's another reason you keep poking and stirring. If you see an air pocket, you try to work it out. Try to work it up a leg or out one of the hems. So there's no air pockets, because otherwise what you'll have is spots, lighter spots wherever there was an air pocket. So you want to make sure you get rid of the air pockets. I'll try to. See, I got a couple little ones, but if you keep moving them around, at least they're all the time getting dye everywhere. And let me tell you, you stirring a pot like this, it's all full on a little rag. Be very careful pulling toward you. You dump this on your foot, you're going to be calling the ambulance. And more than likely it'll get both legs, and it'll be a 2nd degree scalding if it don't just boil the meat off. Depending on how hot you got it. 140 is enough to raise some blisters. Remember, it's a hobby, but like many hobbies, it does have some small dangers in it. And this pot, really hot water, make sure you got a good steady stand, give it some rocking, make sure it ain't going to tip over when you get to stirring. Make sure your pot don't go rolling off. Not only will you lose all your dye, you might just burn the bejesus out of yourself. Anyway, that's just some of the cautions, you know. This is just like cooking. You don't put your hand on the stove and you don't reach into the soup pot to grab a piece of mutton or whatever it is you're souping. Anyway, that's that for the moment. Dyeing day continues, and while this is going on, I gotta go fix the grandson's car, little push car. Wheel done fell off. Time to go work some sheet metal. Well, here we are. About done with dyeing day. Finished product. Got 4 pair of jeans there. I got 1 pair on. This is the next day. They all got ran through the washer. Fairly satisfied with the results. At least 3 of these pair was you wouldn't want to wear down to a casual restaurant or anything like that. They were just too faded and nasty looking. But now they good to go. I'd wear them down to wherever anymore. Ready church going jeans once again. I didn't bother to cut the phrase off the end because, to tell you the truth, I really don't care. But anyway, you figure, about $14 a dye. Maybe 2.5, 3 hours of work. Let's call it 3 at $10 an hour. That's $30. That'd make, let's call it $45. That includes the propane too, I imagine. 45, 50 at the most. For 5 pair of nearly like new jeans that dye will probably hold up at least until the jeans are ready to go in the garbage. We'll see. But looking at it from an ecology point of view, all the water, growing the cotton, making the fibers, dyeing, milling, looming, weaving, shipping, all the gas, all the people involved into making 5 new pairs of pants for me. I just bypassed all that, which is great for the environment, by the way. Like they say, recycle, reuse, renew, and that's what this was, renew. Recycle, reuse, renew. There's another R in there, I can't remember what it is. But at any rate, dyeing day's done. Ready to go hang these back in the closet, step out onto town sometime when town stepping's okay once again. Me and my mask, what can I say? But at any rate, well worth the time and effort considering all this COVID news and stay at home crap. Didn't have a damn better thing to do. I'll tell you though, that 1 pair I still ain't happy with. That's that Puerto Rican pair. You get it out in the light in that front panel still. Let me tell you, whoever made them pants over in China, they mixed 2 dye lots of cloth, and as a result, screwed that up forever. So let's see. South Pole Authentic Collection. I will never ever purchase a pair of pants from you again due to this problem. It's been like that since the 3rd washing, and I've done dyed them twice. There's something up with them dye lots. You did not use the same dye lot to make the same pair of pants, and that is an unforgivable sin in the textile industry. I worked in it some, and I well know. But them cheap Chinese, they don't care. They figure us Americans will buy another one. Guess what? Ain't gonna happen. These will be my work jeans. Yes, sirree. Anyway, bye y'all. Dyeing day's done. Pretty. Gonna be a hot, long summer, I'll tell you. Let's hope this COVID dies down a bit with the heat. Y'all take care, stay home, mask up, be safe.